Taiwan, I'm Louise Watt with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Online troll accounts posting about Taiwan's upcoming elections could be taking cues from Beijing. That's according to a new report from a research group in Taipei. Taiwan AI Labs monitors tens of thousands of accounts and says clusters of them are mimicking Chinese state media. Beijing's been trying to steer Taiwanese voters away from the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, saying a vote for them is a vote for war. The party's presidential pick, Ching-te, is seen by Beijing as a Taiwanese independence supporter. As election day nears, people in Taiwan are looking at candidates' policies to decide who to vote for. Here at TaiwanPlus, we're exploring the real issues. One of these is housing, which has been at the forefront of many voters' minds. Sally Ensign takes a look.
And this is my mom's house.
Opening the door for transparency. Less than 3 weeks ahead of elections, the childhood home of Ching-te, presidential candidate for the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, is making headlines. Taiwan's opposition candidates say Lai's family illegally expanded the property, which sits in an old coal mining area near Taiwan's northern coast. Lai has denied any wrongdoing and offered to turn the place into a miners' museum. But he's not the only candidate whose property assets are under scrutiny. His Kuomintang rival, Hou Yo-yi, has also been targeted, with the DPP blasting him for profiting off his wife's rental properties, an accusation he also denies. The Taiwan People's Party's Ko-wen-de has not escaped unscathed either. He's accused of illegally turning some of his co-owned farmland into a parking lot, which he's promised to tear down. This political barb trading around candidates' properties is resonating widely across Taiwan, since housing is seen as one of the most pressing issues facing the country's young people.
我觉得台湾就是房价太高了，那薪资方面都没有跟上，
薪资一直没有办法买房嘛，对，就这方面的比较年轻人比较没有办法追上这个物价房价。
我觉得人民也越来越没有能力去负担房子，它有点变像奢侈品了，它不是生活东西了。
Relations with neighbouring China, which claims Taiwan, usually dominates election discussions. But analysts say that for many young voters, domestic issues now overshadow cross-strait relations.
For these people who are just graduating from college, for example, what they care about is not geopolitics. These housing issues, home ownership, inflation, energy prices increase and all that, these are the needs at home that need to be addressed.
And while shots are fired between politicians over whose property is breaking the rules, voters will be watching to see if there's any relief for their housing woes. Kama Xu and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
A legislative candidate with cerebral palsy is accusing the Taipei Election Commission of treating him unfairly. Lai Zongyu was given 15 minutes to present his policy platform. He says that's not nearly enough time to explain his political views through an interpreter. But the commission did not offer him extra time. Lai and other people with disabilities protested outside the commission. There are approximately 1.2 million people with disabilities in Taiwan, but they lack representation in policy-making bodies. President Tsai has signed a new minimum wage law to counter Taiwan's rising cost of living. Future minimum wage adjustments will be based on how much goods and services cost. Companies will be fined almost $50,000 if they pay workers less than the legal minimum. The law also establishes a wage review committee. Taiwan is struggling to meet the challenges of its aging population, changes that many other countries will soon face. Bryn Thomas reports.
Taiwan has spent more money on long-term care in 2023 than ever before, but over $2 billion was still not enough to meet the country's ever greater need to care for its elderly population. This problem came into harsh focus in the past week when a man in the sovereign city of Tainan was arrested for killing his ill mother. Reports said the stress of taking care of her was too much for him. In Taiwan, looking after elderly people is a responsibility that often falls under immediate family or migrant workers. Healthcare professionals say help is available for these caregivers, but many struggle to find it.
我们知道很多照顾者他其实是不习惯求助的。我们体系内其实是有照顾者支持系统，那可是其实还有不普及的地方。
Despite Taiwan's record budget this year for long-term care, people in the industry say medical capacity is the bigger issue.
在医疗推行了这么多年，那可是使用者可以使用到的民众其实是很少，因为这个根结的问题其实还是在那个供给面不足了。
Taiwan is not the only country facing these challenges. Neighboring Japan and South Korea have similarly aging societies and their own plans to meet rising demands for long-term care. But for Taiwan, the ability to look after its older population will come down to the resources it's willing to commit to its caregivers. Luffy Lee, Philip Broussard, and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Young people in Taiwan are learning how to say no to smoking. As Laurel Stewart reports, it's the government's attempt to tackle a rise in vaping.
Pamphlets, comics and videos. Elementary school students in Taiwan are learning about the dangers of tobacco. It's a course designed by the country's health ministry to teach young people about the health risks of smoking and vaping.
透过影片让我知道吸烟的可怕，也更加了解如何远离烟害。
Despite a change in the law earlier this year to ban e-cigarettes and increase the legal smoking age to 20, a government survey found the number of young people who vape has increased nearly 1.5 times in 3 years. There are now nearly 80,000 high school students using e-cigarettes in Taiwan. It's a rise that has health professionals concerned.
使用电子烟之后，或者使用烟品，其实它影响孩子的大脑生长发育。另外就是气喘的发生的比率会增加大概2.36倍。
But with the social pressure that comes with smoking and vaping, educators here say young students need to learn how to reject the habit.
从认知的拒烟到愿意不使用烟品，包括到确的能够实践不使用烟品。
Taiwan's education ministry is asking schools to enforce the complete ban on all tobacco products on campuses and continue to educate children about the harm they do. Dolphine Chen and Laurel Stewart for TaiwanPlus.
Hsinchu Mayor Gao Hong-an has appeared in court for the first time over corruption and plagiarism cases. Gao is on trial for allegedly embezzling public funds while she was a legislator for the Taiwan People's Party. That's the country's third largest party. Investigators say she overstated her assistant's working hours, pocketing the $14,000 in extra pay. Earlier this year, 3 of Gao's aides pleaded guilty to submitting false statements at her request. She's also facing trial for allegedly plagiarizing her doctoral thesis. She denies all charges against her. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has ordered his country to accelerate war preparations. Kim made the announcement at a key government meeting where he laid out plans for the coming year. The decision to speed up weapons production was a response to what he calls unprecedented confrontational moves by the US. North Korean state media also reported that Kim said he would expand strategic cooperation with friendly countries. He sees China and Russia as allies. At least 10 people are dead after heavy storms hit eastern Australia over the holiday weekend. Torrential rains caused flash floods across the region, damaging homes and taking out power lines. Recovery efforts have begun despite forecasts for more rain. The country has been seeing extreme weather during the El Niño season, with wildfires raging in the west. An AI-assisted piano has made its debut in Tokyo, allowing 3 musicians with disabilities to perform a Christmas concert in one of the city's most prestigious venues. Joy Sung has the story.
a Beethoven classic performed by Japanese pianist Usami Kiwa with a little help from AI. Usami has cerebral palsy and started playing the piano in elementary school, inspiring an artificial intelligence program to help musicians with disabilities make it on stage. The AI-powered piano made its debut at a Christmas concert in one of Tokyo's finest halls, which also featured pianist Higashino Hiroko, who was born with 3 fingers on her right hand.
私の場合だと2本足りないので、その2本足りない音を補助してくれるだけで、だいぶ音の幅とか音色とかゴージャスさだったりとか、あと多分ベートーベンが表したかった音っていうのをもう多分忠実に再現できる。
The piano, dubbed Anybody's Piano, is adapted from music giant Yamaha's 2015 auto-playing piano. Rather than playing all notes on its own, the new version can detect when to come in, adding the necessary notes musicians don't play. Also performing that night was 10-year-old Furukawa Yurina, who has a rare muscle condition and needs breathing assistance. She plays with the back of her hand from a bed in front of the piano. Backed by a full orchestra and choir, the pianists dazzled the 130-person concert hall.
なんていうかもう本当に久しぶりに心が震える時間を持てて。
本質ではないと思ってるので、誰でも弾きたいって気持ちがあった時に弾けないっていうのが一番辛いので、それができる、誰でもできるっていうのは非常にその音楽全体に通していいかなと思うし。
With just a little extra help from AI, these pianists can share their hearts and holiday cheer with all music lovers. Jeonsu and Joyce Sun for TaiwanPlus.
Dwight Howard, Jeremy Lin, and now DeMarcus Cousins. These are some of the big names in basketball who've committed to playing in Taiwan. The sport is one of the most popular in the country, and as Leslie Liao now reports, Taiwan has started attracting the attention of world-class trainers.
Dribble, shuffle, pivot. NBA trainer Mike Atkinson drills students and teaches them the secrets of his trade. He's in Taiwan running a training camp for aspiring basketball coaches. Atkinson says Taiwan could be the sport's next big hotspot.
Taiwan basketball is on the map. Literally all summer, I've had a few NBA players say, I want to own a team in Taiwan.
Atkinson is a respected figure in professional basketball. He's worked with greats like Klay Thompson and Joel Embiid. Basketball is one of Taiwan's most popular sports. There are multiple leagues and about a dozen teams. Dwight Howard and Jeremy Lin are just a few of the world-class players that have come here to play. Atkinson says his goal is to help elevate Taiwan's professional basketball scene, which he says has big potential.
To me, the state is high as far as competition, and they're putting in the investments into the players and the talent.
But before Taiwan's basketball team can slam dunk its way to being an international contender, Atkinson says a few more things need to happen, like changing the country's professional training culture.
We don't need them just checking in to work for 6 hours. That's not the culture. That's not what's going to bring the best out of basketball players. So if I can educate them on the science, the culture, they can add their technical, tactical skills on top of it.
But he also points to areas where Taiwan's basketball players stand out.
I think they're very competitive people in nature, and I think they want to be the best. And if they have the resources and the finances, I think we're starting to see them really value putting it in.
But for Atkinson, though, the sincere love in Taiwan for the sport is what stands out to him the most.
Passion is a very universal language. And when I come to Taiwan, the passion for basketball is there.
And with his help, Taiwan could yet become the next big thing in world basketball. Chris Ma and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. From basketball to birds, let's leave you with some images of whiskered tern in Taiwan's southern city of Tainan. I'm Louise Watt. Take care. I'll see you next time.